Get the Friendo Club set up today and get access to over 700 Going in Raw bonus episodes, our monthly Big Blue predictions challenges, and the ability to ask questions at Going in Raw. We also offer the Steven Larson comic book and exclusive Friendo Club t-shirt. Just hit join here at youtube.com/Steven Larson or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson to sign up. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. The John Cena heel turn in the year 2025 was not on our bingo cards, but it happened. He is now partnered with The Rock, Larson.
Yeah.
And giving Cody Rhodes seemingly some pretty big capital A adversity heading into WrestleMania. We're officially... now I feel we can say on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber is kind of the last stop before the road to WrestleMania fully begins. Once The Rock gave this offered Cody everything in exchange for his very soul, it would be the corporate champion, essentially. We assume Cody would say no when someone else would accept Dwayne's offer. Possibility crossed our minds. I mean, we did talked about during the recap last week of SmackDown of Cena being the one to take up the offer. And, given this is Cena's last run, I was kind of two minds about him potentially being like, yeah, I'll do the heel thing on my last year. Or staying true to the character he has portrayed for 20 years, basically. And not. Got our answer. He's down to be a heel during his last run, and it was done just about as well as you can imagine. When Cody told Dwayne, "Go fuck yourself," uncensored. John Cena was back there being Cody's number one cheerleader. Yes,
Hype man, yeah.
Cody and Cena embrace. Cena shoots a look at Dwayne. Dwayne does the thing they did to Cody at Bad Blood. And he's in the ring with Roman, and Cena proceeded to beat the absolute shit out of Cody Rhodes. Busted him open, blasted him with everything lying in the ring that he could. And show finishes with Rock, Cena, Travis Scott. It was, yeah. Again, it's the possibility in my mind was there that it could happen, but seeing it happen was something else.
Yeah, I mean, people have talked about it so much that you couldn't help but think it was a possibility. When Rock showed up and said, Cody Rhodes, I want your soul, we all kind of liken that to the corporate champion thing. Are they going to recreate the Austin Vince moment from 17? And the idea of Cena teaming with The Rock was one that we were really, really interested in. But like you said, to see it actually play out, look, time will tell. But immediately, this has to be up there with the closest thing in terms of an epic babyface heel turn as Hulk Hogan creating the NWO. Mm-hmm. Or joining, or whatever you want to say. This was huge. The viciousness with which this was executed was outstanding. We had one shocking moment, which was Cody saying, "Go fuck yourself," uncensored, after they had already censored the crowd saying fuck about Logan Paul. And so they set that up. And like you said, Cena's the hype man. And that look on Cena's face, for a split second, I was like, oh, he's giving it to The Rock. And then it's like, oh, crap. Oh, my God. He's turning. You and I had both suspected that this would be a Drew McIntyre moment, given when he re-signed with the company, The Rock, gifted him the sword. It seems it could fit in with Drew McIntyre following up last year with a pretty huge year. Instead, they went with Rock Cena. I don't know how often Cena's really going to be around or how this story can play out for the rest of the year. But much like last year, Rock didn't necessarily have to be around all the time to build the Roman Cody stuff. But when he was there, it was very effective.
Yeah. I would guess. So with Cena now, evil Cena, that is wide open for Cody Rhodes to be new John Cena in the world of WWE, and I think that's the end goal of this. Whether that means Cody winning at WrestleMania or down the line after Cena beats him at Mania for the title. But given The Rock's schedule, we don't know what Cena's schedule looks like the rest of the year, how many dates he's kind of locked in for. I would, at this point, suspect that Cena's probably going to be around a decent amount. I mean, he's advertised. I read on Reddit, so grain of salt, that he's advertised for 2 shows between now and Mania. Could be more, obviously. You know, if we're 6 weeks out and he's there for 4 of them, that would be, you know, I think that would be probably sufficient to help build the story. I imagine The Rock's going to be around some as well. And if there's weeks where Cena can't make it, Rock can, fine.
I suspect that they're gonna split the dates to a degree. I mean, obviously, on like the go home, maybe tomorrow. I'm sorry, Monday or Friday, whatever. Whenever the next story beat is, they'll probably rerun this on Monday, and then on Friday I'll actually have Cody, you know, give his response, or maybe they'll write him off for an episode for a week.
That could be,
and just recap it all week. And then you bring Rock and Cena, you know, back together. You could do a mix of video packages, Matt chat questions, et cetera, et cetera. So there's only 6 weeks. As long as they have some degree of Rock and Cena present on the programming in some degree.
Ideally together, because I think there's the appeal of Cena's heel turn, and there's several appeals to it. Probably first among them would be the interaction, the dynamic between him and the final boss Rock.
It's so basically Cena and Rock trying not to make each other laugh while being bad guys, because that's what I'm looking forward to.
Exactly. You know, we've come a long way from Cena pointing out the Rock has his notes written on his arm.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And to see them now working together, you know, part of me, given kind of the uncertainty with Cena's schedule post Mania, it wouldn't shock me it wouldn't shock me either way. If Cody wins, here you go. Here's, without a doubt, new face of the company, our new John Cena, the person we're building the company around for the next 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then it could be an interesting story. All right, Cena sold his soul. I mean, he's got a pretty successful Hollywood career. Like The Rock can give him that. Cena did this for number 17.
That's exactly right. That's what I was about to say, is that he has one goal in mind to break the record. That means everything to him. Somebody pointed out here on, and I apologize because I've already lost it, but here we go. Nick G here in our YouTube chat says 30 some odd dates in 2025 is what John had said. He's only used 2 of them.
Okay.
And it's possible that Mania, well, I guess we can pivot to this. What's more likely? I mean, Cena's got to win at Mania now, right? Or
I don't know.
Does he lose there, continues this until SummerSlam as bad guy Cena lurking in the shadows with The Rock, and the bulk of his 30 dates are used between Mania and SummerSlam?
I mean, there's another option where he loses at Mania and they'll be like, well, that was all for nothing. You know, selling my soul to Rock was all for nothing. And then he has to do, within 8 months, the John Cena redemption arc. And that's when he finally wins the title.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know, we get this heel turn for 2 months, roughly. And hopefully it'll be great. It's great fan service. It's something people have been asking for years with John Cena. But if it's part of a larger story, which leads to Cena winning the title, and it's an uplifting moment or whatever, you know, however you want to look at it, to culminate his career, they might want to go that route. Or if they just want to be like, all right, this is what the fans are going to be most into, is a year of John Cena being super shitty, an asshole, cheating to win, being super violent, then it's possible he beats Cody at Mania, and then at, I don't know, sometime in the fall, Cody beats him for the title.
That could be. That could be. It's going to be very interesting to see which direction they take, and if the 30 dates are actually 30 dates, or if somehow that's been scaled back. You know, you can only take that.
But I think if Cody wins at WrestleMania, it's probably pretty clear that Cena's not going to be around on a regular enough basis where they feel comfortable putting the belt on him. At that point.
Yeah. And then at that point, when do you... Like, the thing is, he's going to get... Well, let me ask you this, because I know you've been at times, I think, if I read your face right, when I say Cena's got to win 17 because they're making a thing about it, does the heel turn change that?
Absolutely. I mean, if it's... That's why I don't think it's a given he wins at WrestleMania, because... I don't know, part of me feels like it might be a more interesting story if Cena goes to these lengths out of desperation to get 17 and it still fails, you know? That would be really interesting. He sold his soul.
It wouldn't be as fun.
It wouldn't be as fun.
Champion Cena would be incredibly...
Shitty heel champion Cena could be fun.
It'd be incredibly entertaining. And on top of that, it'd give Cody something to chase. This would be... I don't know about all time, but in terms of the entertainment value, you know, Cena can pull off this heel shit. He's gonna chew this scenery up, man.
So here's another thing about heel Cena. Say he beats Cody, then we get heel Cena versus babyface CM Punk.
That's the
babyface Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, make a couple phone calls, get babyface Edge back just for one match.
Nobody needs to see that.
Well, it's all the Cena's rivals, you know, his top rivals during his run.
Don't need that.
Just saying.
I mean, you got AJ Styles there. He's a babyface again. You got, there are some other guys there. But, yeah, dude, I don't know. I feel like I get it. This is the perfect way to present the most adversity for Cody going into WrestleMania for him. And I can totally understand for him to win again at WrestleMania. But God damn it. The entertainment values in Cena winning that title. It really is. That's huge. Boy, the scowl on his face tonight was just so much money. It was so much money. So yeah, I think that'd be terrific. It'll be interesting to see. And when Rock wears that Elvis gear, it's always good. Because he wore that same shit at WrestleMania last year, and he just looks like $1 million.
Yes.
It was the white version of it, where it was
right.
it was in WrestleMania, and it's so much money. And The Rock, I don't know, there are certain images that you just never thought you'd see, and they give it to you, and it's like, oh my God, this is so good.
Just think of the 20-minute social media promos that Cena and Rock are going to be doing. All sorts of cussing.
I will guarantee there's got to be some social shit already. I haven't checked.
I would be shocked if they're shooting something backstage right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that. We have a couple of super chats here before we dive into a really entertaining Chamber.
It was a really fun show. It was
premium live event. We'll start here with oh boy. Okay, let's go ahead and back up here. Let's see here. Deathmas Q says, oh man, it'll be interesting to see how low Cena goes. Also love that whooping Jade delivered. 9 out of 10 show. We're going to talk about the Jade return also. Omega Advent here with the super chat says, greatest heel turn of all time, even more than Hogan. Drew Lytle here says, this felt like Stone Cold's heel turn done better. Yeah, this was, the Stone Cold heel turn. That was so deflating in my opinion.
It was. It just didn't make any sense.
Nikhil, been a member for 12 months now, says, is it just me or uncensored swearing in wrestling makes everything better? When it's
done selectively. Yeah.
When they pull back on it. Jimmy O'Rizzle, member for 13 months, says Steve stuffing his face with spaghetti as the F-bomb dropped was iconic. Fucking A, dude. If we don't make WWE TV with our reactions, especially since Con Man and Sandy they were there at the show. They'll probably I'm sure they were reacting the whole time. I saw.
We got to put these up on TikTok or whatever, because I think I'm
gonna do that tonight. Right. Yeah, man. Well, we're never gonna get on TV.
No, we're never getting on there because we're just not.
Because we're old. Matthew here with the super chat says Cody breaks PG. Cena not gonna work for me, brother.
Yeah.
Funny Desperado says Cena heel turn better than Hogan heel turn ? Caden here with a super chat says my prediction is Cena loses at Mania. Rock and Cena partnership will fall apart. Maybe match at SummerSlam, leading to Cena's redemption arc before the end of the year. That's a possibility as well.
Yeah.
Cardi here with a super chat says John's turn, but will the crowd? They wanted this. Yeah, but Just like with The Rock, everybody thinks he's entertaining. They're fine booing him.
Yeah.
They'll be fine booing him, and they'll all be really entertained.
Yeah, people will buy into the show and what, Yeah.
John Doe says, will Cena finally shave his head for a heel turn?
No.
I think it's a Hollywood thing. He can't.
Yeah.
Unless he has a movie where he can do that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, all in all, dude, Elimination Chamber. Incredibly entertaining show. The women's chamber match. The first half of the men's match, I was like, boy, they're not bringing the energy like the women did. Because that was like a sense of urgency in that women's match.
Yeah,
I thought the
chamber match was really, really good.
It was really super good. And then, once you got the first couple eliminations out of the way, like once Drew, Priest, and Logan were out of there.
Once it was down to Seth, Cena, and Punk, yeah.
It was a fire match. It was absolutely fire. And then, of course, it led directly into the Rock stuff. So yeah, I thought, from a big picture standpoint, I thought this year's Chamber Premium Live event was a really, really strong one.
It was. All the matches were really good to excellent. The show was bookended by 2 major story beats. And, everything in between was wildly entertaining. Yeah, there wasn't a bad match. There wasn't a lull in the show. It went a little bit longer than 3 hours, and it didn't feel like it. Even the way, because when the original rundown, Fightful Select had the rundown of the show and it had the Cody angle in the middle. And then obviously that changed. Instead, it was supposed to go Women's Chamber, the tag match, Cody segment, Kevin Owens and Sammy, and then the Men's Chamber, the main event. They moved the Cody Rock bit to the end.
I don't think that was ever. I honestly, I don't know if they're just doing the whole misinformation thing.
It could be.
But I don't know. There's a way they could have done that. Where
no, it wouldn't have made any sense. Like Cena turns heel before the Chamber.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I just think I think that I think that they got a pattern of putting out misinformation. I think that that happened here. Mm-hmm. But no, all that, and then on top of that, an incredibly fun tag match with Trish Stratus, Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jackson, Candice LeRae, and then of course the unsanctioned Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn match was a ton of fun as well. We were to a degree wondering why there wasn't any blood in that match, and I kind of feel like they wanted to make the Cody blood a bit more impactful.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's probably why The Rock didn't cuss when he was talking to Cody. So when Cody cussed, all the more impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that was, Cody put everything into that F-bomb.
Oh, talk about completely unexpected.
He put everything into that. That was a jaw dropper. That absolutely was.
And the fact that they didn't censor it, that's what's really jaw dropping. It was one thing if he had said it and they'd beeped it out. All right. Completely uncensored.
It had to be. I mean, it
absolutely had to be.
That's how you make that moment right there. Speaking of moments, before we kick off our Elimination Chamber beat by beat breakdown here, Daniel Acosta Art comes out of Elimination Chamber, the first of 2 events in the March Predictions Challenge, with a lead, 78 points over the Mamba God with 75 points.
Those prop bets, man.
Oh man, Cody just putting us through the ring.
Either they lead you to victory or you're way behind.
Right.
Yeah,
here.
Same here.
Yeah, right here. So of course, we got Revolution coming up next. If Daniel Acosta Art or Mamba God have a pretty good grasp on what's going on over there in All Elite Wrestling, then we could see one of them become the new Big Blue Predictions champion. And of course, after that, dude, all roads lead to WrestleMania. What we're looking at, hopefully, will be the biggest ever WrestleMania Predictions Challenge. Certainly the prize is the biggest one ever, and that is the bootleg CM Punk Signature Series title from Pakistan. That's right. I fixed this thing in the middle here.
Oh, so it doesn't fall off anymore?
Well, it can still, but
gotcha.
Just for now, it's fine.
Oh, it got stuck upside down for a second.
This is, it defies space and time. This is on the line in April for the WrestleMania Predictions Challenge. If you want to get in on that, all you got to do is click join. Ow. It's like it bit me. Click join right here.
It's got teeth on it. It really does. It's sharp.
It does. It actually has teeth on it. YouTube.com/Stephen Larson. Click join. It's $5 a month. Or go to patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Also $5 a month. Either way, you get the same stuff. Access to our huge backlog of bonus episodes, the question threads for the recap shows, and, of course, access to the Big Blue Predictions Challenge. If you want to get in on that now, get the membership going, and participate in the AEW Predictions Challenge. Yeah, it's you probably lost out on too many points to win the month, but you can put us all on notice by having a killer performance in the AEW Revolution Predictions
1,000%. You know, but these AEW shows, they got a ton of matches on them. Cody can come up with some interesting prop bets. A bunch of points involved in this Revolution Predictions Challenge. Might be a long shot, but who knows?
I guess anything could happen. Probably more likely we'll just be putting us on notice.
Yeah, but there's something to be said for that,
Yeah, absolutely.
Something to be said for that. Anyways, let's jump into it. Show opened up with the women's chamber match. Bianca, Naomi, Liv, Roxanne, Alexa, Bayley. All the participants come in the ring. Naomi and Liv are about to start. Bell rings. Jade's music hits. So the door of the chamber's still open.
And Liv starts crapping her pants because she thinks that Jade thinks she did it.
And she thinks Jade's coming to beat her up.
Yeah.
And Jade at first looks like she's making a beeline to Liv, then takes a left and starts beating Naomi.
And that's an understatement. She wrecks Naomi. And Bianca in the pod just overcome with emotion, just absolutely emotionally wrecked watching this go down. She can't intervene. She can't do anything. She can't try to calm it down. And Jade is just a mad person on a rampage, laying into Naomi, wrecking her.
Pump kicks her into a pod. And then Naomi's trying to crawl out of the chamber to escape. And she stops. And Jade takes the door to the chamber and slams it into Naomi's head.
Yeah.
And at this point, Bianca is absolutely beside herself. Jade leaves. They bring a stretcher out to take Naomi out. They announce she's not in the match. No one's replacing her. Liv's over in front of Bianca's pod. Like, told you it wasn't me. Talking crap. Match begins. Liv's just hanging out for a while in the ring. Bianca's in next. All sorts of great creative moments in this match.
This match, the thing that really stood out to me most, once again, talk about absolutely ready for prime time, Roxanne Perez.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as she was in the match, there was this sense of urgency that was added to the match. She's so fast. She's so crisp. Her stuff is so creative. And because of her, I think, there was none of that. Sometimes in these multi-person matches, there could be a little bit of the malingering. They could be lingering around.
Well, we saw the beginning of the men's match. I think the men's match had that too.
Absolutely,
had that. Whereas I don't think the women's did, because the women's match started with such an impactful story beat.
Yeah.
And then you had Bianca being the first one out of the pod, where she had to kind of gather herself to be in the match. And Bianca just naturally wrestles with that same sense of urgency that Roxanne does.
She does, yeah.
And so you have this period where she's trying to gather herself, get in the match, wrestle the way she knows how. Plus, you got the story with her and Liv and the tag titles and all that. So, I don't know. I feel like from the opening bell, basically, the women's match had that urgency. And when Roxanne got in there, the pace picked up a lot. Absolutely. But I thought from the opening bell to the very end, this match had great pace, a lot of really good creative stuff in terms of sequencing moves and putting moves together from various competitors.
Yeah.
Had story beats. This is like basically everything you'd want in a chamber match.
Yeah.
At a really entertaining pace.
Yeah, it was. It never let up. And there was so much. One thing goes into another, goes into another, goes into another. Bayley was the first eliminated. She gets tossed into the wall a few times after breaking up a crossface on Alexa, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, Roxanne hits a double springboard moonsault. Bayley gets the knees up. She dumps Roxanne over the top rope. Liv hits Oblivion on Bayley. Bayley gets eliminated. Roxanne is eliminated next by Alexa Bliss. Mm-hmm. She was the last one to come out. She got hit with let's see here. So Bianca avoided a Pop Rocks, eats a code breaker, and then a Twisted Bliss by Alexa on Roxanne. Mm-hmm. Next up, Alexa gets eliminated. So Liv takes out Alexa, hits three amigos on Bianca. Liv sets Bianca up, goes for a 619. She gets intercepted into his sister Abigail. Liv with a roll-up for 2. Liv blocks a KOD as Bianca hits a roll-up, but gets pushed into Alexa Bliss as Sister Abigail. Then Liv rolls up Alexa. Alexa's eliminated. So Liv sees that Bianca just got hit with the Sister Abigail, drags her to the middle, covers her, but only gets 2. Then there is this hilariously cartoonish sequence where Bianca's on the outside of the ring and Liv is using her hair as like a slingshot basically, and she keeps on like bringing her back, throwing her back into the cage wall.
So she was pulling Bianca's braid so Bianca would run,
hit the ropes
back
and
into
bounce
the
back.
ropes and then bounce into the cage, and just doing that repeatedly.
Yeah, and it was like forever. It was hilarious. She thought that could be a finisher because she tried for a pin, didn't actually work. And then Liv hit a middle rope code breaker. Bianca hits a spear. Liv kicks out of that. Liv's able to block a power bomb on the outside, but Bianca uses like a battering ram into the pod. Then power bombs her back into the ring. She heads up for a 450. Liv gets her knees up. She tries for an oblivion. Liv then blocks a KOD attempt, hits a code breaker. Then Bianca blocks another oblivion attempt. KOD by Bianca. A really terrific finishing sequence there.
It really was.
She goes up the ramp. Rhea Ripley meets her there, and Io Sky then comes out because she has that match on Monday for Rhea's title. Do you think they're going to straight up do Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania, or is this going to be like Rhea's version of the Elimination Chamber that Bianca just went through, having to beat Io Sky for her adversity to get to WrestleMania, and then it's just straight up Rhea and Bianca? Or are they going to do a triple threat, somehow wonk that finish?
You know, if Liv had won Chamber, it would have made more sense for the wonk finish and make it a triple threat.
Yeah, absolutely.
That being said, I still wouldn't be surprised if it happened, because I don't know if they want Rhea or Bianca to lose at WrestleMania.
I mean, right now, Bianca's got a streak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So I'll say this, it wouldn't surprise me if they had Io to the Mania match, make it a triple threat, and Io Sky should not be in the match to take a pin. But if there's a third person in the match, that's the person that's eating the pin.
Rhea and Bianca, they're the Cenas of the women's division. I mean, yeah, that's what Io would be there for, and that's nothing to take away from Io. She'd make the match. I mean, look, the match is going to be phenomenal regardless.
It's going to be fantastic, yes.
Io makes everything better.
Absolutely. Io was one of the best wrestlers in the company. Yeah.
I feel, and Triple H isn't opposed to, doing the triple threat, but they're already kind of allegedly doing that with Roman, Punk, and Rollins.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just going to do the star power of the one-on-one for Rhea and Bianca. Boy, oh boy, I don't know who wins that match, though.
Yeah, I know.
I really don't. They're both in a very similar position. I mean, Bianca's a bit ahead of Rhea in terms of she's already done, like, everything.
I'll say this. If it ends up being one-on-one, depending on how the story with Jade and Naomi goes, that could play into the finish of Bianca Rhea, which would favor Rhea.
You think they would do a distraction type deal for that level of a match?
I mean, it's really, again, this is a match that Bianca versus Rhea could and should main event WrestleMania. It should. And it could. But the way they're fast tracking it this year doesn't seem likely. And maybe it's a situation where they have this first match. They use the Jade Naomi story to kind of inform the finish of it, and then whether it's next year or some other, sometime down the line at another WrestleMania, we finally have the one-on-one matchup. Same could be the case for if they make a triple threat with Io in there.
You know what they need to do, man? It's just give the same level. Number one, if they really, really actually get their act together and put some creative energy into it, 6 weeks is fine. You can do a lot in 6 weeks.
You can.
They've got this Jade Naomi stuff going on. Overbook the living shit out of that match. The way they did Cody last year. If you're going to bring that level of overbooking to a match of that magnitude, bring it to this one. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, keep the streak alive. I mean, they might bill this as title versus streak. I mean, Bianca, it's not like the Undertaker streak or anything like that yet. But, Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know
It's,
either.
if it's we're trying to add to somebody's legacy, Bianca has more of a legacy than Rhea right now. So you'd be adding to Rhea's legacy, and beating Bianca Belair at WrestleMania is a big, big, big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'd want to do that. I don't know. I don't know.
Either. I don't know.
That's a hard decision to make.
It is. Next match was tag match. Trish and Tiffany teaming up against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Another fun match. We were commenting during our watch along how creative Nia and Candice were when they had Trish isolated for a good stretch. Because there was some good creative stuff in this match too.
This was a really fun. It was a very entertaining wrestling match. You know, there was just a lot of fun shit going on. Candice is such a fun wrestler.
Oh, she is, absolutely. The end of this one sees so Trish heads up, hits an avalanche stratisfaction. Candice with the moonsault onto Trish, but I think Trish moves. Nia takes it, and then Trish takes out Candice. Tiffany gets the tag in. She heads up top, hits the moonsault to pin Nia to get the win. So I'm guessing Tiffany's clean win over Nia without a cash-in is this match. We're not going to have a one-on-one rematch with a decisive winner for the title because they did that match and they wonked that finish on SmackDown. Because now Tiffany's going to focus solely on Charlotte heading into WrestleMania.
This is one. So if I were to take a guess, and I hate saying this, if I were to take a guess between Rhea, Bianca, Jade, Naomi, Io, Liv, that's where they're going to be focusing the creative energy. I suspect, and I hate to say this, I suspect that this is either going to be just 6 weeks of promos between Tiffany and Charlotte, or if they want to make it a modicum more interesting, toss that Nia Jax match in there because she makes that shit with Charlotte much more interesting. So that she can get that definitive win. I know this seemed definitive, but unless it's a one-on-one, maybe they do a cage match. Prettiest moonsault off the top. Don't do that. Do not do that.
No, don't.
Although last night on SmackDown, she did a moonsault from the top, and I'm sorry, it was a swanton, and just basically ate it all.
Yeah, I know.
And they just got that stupid desk there too.
I know.
I
thought she hurt her elbow when she landed because
there was a thud. She did not
almost
get
landed on her head too.
Yeah, she didn't get much help there.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. You got 6 weeks. You got to do something, and they haven't demonstrated they're interesting in doing anything interesting with Charlotte Tiffany.
No.
You know, they got to step that up. They really do.
They do. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Charlotte had a WrestleMania feud that was tepid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, going into her match, her and Rhea's match at Mania, which was awesome. The match itself was awesome. The story going into it was
good.
The story going into it was not memorable in the least.
Yeah. No, I agree. After that, we had unsanctioned match, so we don't actually have to talk about this one. After that, no, I'm joking, because it wasn't a real match. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Well, there were several referees in actual referee shirts. I think a referee in a referee shirt actually counted the pinfall.
So then it actually became a sanctioned match mid-match.
I guess so. Number of producers and officials out there.
It seemed damn sanctioned to me.
Seemed pretty sanctioned.
There was a lot of people telling him, don't do this, don't do that. The whole point of unsanctioned is do everything.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the power to not do that.
Exactly. But the deal there is the WWE is not liable for anything that happened.
This non-match was awesome, though.
It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It started a little slow.
Yeah, you got to go into the crowd. Stop going to the crowd.
I could do without the going into the crowd bit.
You don't need to go in the crowd anymore.
No, you don't have to brawl in the crowd. I understand it gets the audience excited. For us here at home, doesn't get us excited. All right.
Yeah.
Once people started going through tables, the match picked up. Got a fisherman buster through a table. Sami hits a haluva kick. KO kicks out of there. So then Sami goes and pulls out a chair. After there's already been tons of chairs in the ring. A chair covered in barbed wire. So this is a moment where we're like, oh, is Sami actually going to use it or not? Is his conscience going to be like, hey, Sami, don't hurt your lifelong friend? Or beat the shit out of him with this chair. And it was beat the shit out of him with this chair. So he takes this barbed wire chair. You have this quick beat of, is he going to do it? He does. He starts beating him up with the chair. Drop toe hold onto the chair. Kevin Owens actually banged his face in the chair pretty hard because it started swelling up almost right away. Sammy sets up a couple chairs, bridges the barbed wire chair across them. Blue Thunder Bomb on the barbed wire chair. Sammy covers. Owens kicks out. Sammy's looking for a haluva kick. KO counters with a pop-up power bomb. Sammy rolls the floor, starts grabbing his neck. And by this point, there's Kenny Dykstra, Maple Leaf Muscle Petey Williams, Jason Jordan's out there, the Hurricane's out there.
Stand back.
They're on their third ref. Because the first ref, Jack Daddy ref, ate a haluva kick. Little Nate ate a clothesline from Kevin Owens. So KO puts a chair around Sammy's neck, rams the ring post, does it again, hits an apron power bomb. Everybody ringside's like, Kevin Owens, stop. KO hits another apron power bomb, rolls Sammy into the ring to get the win. KO gets up. He leaves the ring, comes back, then starts tearing up the padding around the ringside area. Grabs Sammy like he's getting him with a package pile driver or a power bomb on the floor. Randall Keith Orton's music hits. He comes down. Owens gets in the ring, and it's just like Kevin Owens is so good at. I'm going to compare him to Zack Sabre Jr., even though the way they implement this is in very different ways. When you watch Zack Sabre Jr. wrestle and you see him figure out how to twist the person into a pretzel, he performs the mental process of him figuring that out.
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens is very good at performing his thought process.
Sure, absolutely.
He's standing in the ring seeing Orton make his return, and the flood of emotions is all over his face. He doesn't say a word.
Kevin Owens probably puts the most thought into his character of anybody in wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
His performance of his character in terms of like nonverbal stuff,
Yeah.
Like he's really good at reactions and acting with expressions. Orton comes to the ring. We get an RKO. Orton grabs the chair and then tosses it aside. He sets up for a punt, and as he's making his approach, everybody, all the producers, security comes in and basically tackles him.
Yeah.
So he can't do it. Owens rolls out, and then Orton just starts doling out RKOs for everybody.
Yeah. 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 So let's talk about where that's going to go. Obviously, Orton versus Kevin Owens seems likely at WrestleMania. Odd man out. Where does that leave Sami Zayn?
I have no idea. I don't know. Because I don't see a way for him to necessarily get involved in this match.
There's no way. I'm just going to throw this out there. Given that like his sort of secondary path has been, I want world championship.
Yeah.
They wouldn't turn that into a triple threat, would they?
Oh, with Jay?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Well, give me another idea then.
Sammy wins the Andre Battle Royal. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
That's
That's for Damian Priest, man.
Oh, man, at this point, I don't even know. No, Damian Priest is going to have a match at WrestleMania against Drew McIntyre.
Oh, that's right. He's going to have Drew McIntyre. Yeah.
Unless they have... If Sammy's still on Raw, I guess if they have like a ladder match for, a multi-man match for the Intercontinental title, he can be in that.
No, he's not going to go after the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, he should. He should be doing something more than that.
It's World Championship or bust for him now, man.
Well, he's got no avenue towards that, so Intercontinental title. How about that?
Special guest referee for Owens versus Randall Keith Orton.
Maybe. It might be it.
That'd be terrible.
Give Johnny Knoxville a call.
That's what we're saying. Let's see here. We have some more super chats here. Dexterus here says, so when are we getting heel Steve again now that his brother turned heel for the first time in years? Am I a heel or a face? I don't even know at this point.
I don't know.
Really? You're not just going to say, hey, no, you're a good guy, Steve.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel confident saying that.
Wow. I don't blame you. Scorpio 85 says, going in Raw equals podcast royalty. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh, thank you.
Devon Jackson says, seriously, Larson is prediction king. Corporate Cena was genius.
Yeah, if only I'd actually followed through with that on my actual official predictions.
Can I just make a suggestion? The number of times you've said, oh, I had that, and then I changed it. Just stop doing that. Just when you have something, stick with it.
Yeah. I overthink things. That's the problem.
Oh, wow. Maggie immediately jumped on this conversation, said, the way you disrespect Seth, heel.
Wow.
Wow. What? Here's the thing. Seth turned heel tonight. Oh,
Well,
dude, no. If you stomp the most popular guy in the company, I don't know if he's going to be cackling heel
no,
necessarily.
I mean, it's just because he's got a very specific dislike for CM Punk.
He might, dude. He might. I mean, that shit at the end of the chamber with him sitting there, with him number one yelling, "Die, Punk, die."
Yeah, he doesn't like CM Punk.
He might do a full on like you
It's
people
entirely
promo on Monday.
I hope not. No, keep it very focused and specific. Him and Drew.
He's always very diplomatic when it comes to the CM Punk chance. I think that diplomacy is going to go away.
Him and Drew, they have their obsessions. And for a while, they were kind of opposite sides of the same coin. And I feel like they should get to the point where there's a lot of, the Venn diagram, the middle section, and what they have in common should grow and grow and grow.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Maybe they should find a common bond, even though they don't like each other. Find common ground. Chamber match, you're a babyface, Steve. I want you to feel bad.
Oh, I didn't. That's why I'm a heel.
Damn, got me.
And my Steve is right shirt.
There you go.
There's a good predictions punishment for you. You have to wear a Steve is right shirt.
Or
you'd quit the show before you did that.
Steve sucks eggs. How about that one?
We should make that.
I know. Larson sucks eggs. Steve sucks eggs.
Yeah, there you go. See which one sells the more.
So
the men's chamber match. Honestly, you get those first three guys. So Drew McIntyre was the first one eliminated. Let's just start there. Because, Logan Paul comes out, everybody's fuck you, Logan chants. Drew gets, once again, wasn't it a roll up?
So, Cena hits Logan Paul with an attitude adjustment, and then Drew hits Cena with a Claymore. And he's like down there talking shit to Cena rather than covering him.
Yeah.
And then Priest rolls him up to eliminate
That's
him.
right. Yeah, to motivate their Mania match.
Yeah.
Which Drew has to win that. Goodness gracious.
So then Drew hits Priest with the Claymore, and then Logan Paul hits Priest with the Frog Splash off of CM Punk's pod to eliminate Priest.
Yeah. What is going to be the thing? Because you've always said, Drew, the brand changed, but he hasn't, right?
Yeah.
He lost to Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Didn't really seem to mind because he beat the shit out of Jimmy afterwards. Yep. Loses to Priest, or he gets eliminated by Priest here. What in your mind turns Drew around so that he can actually start winning matches?
I thought it was corporate champion Drew. I thought it was going to be a partnership with Rock that would lead to him winning matches after I thought about it a bit more. That's, we had our video that went up yesterday about the most likely corporate champions, and I thought Cena was probably the most exciting choice because it's the Cena heel turn we've always wanted, and it could be a lot of fun, but I thought in a lot of respects, it makes more sense for it to be Drew.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Yeah, absolutely.
Because Drew is, of the two, in terms of their career overall, far more desperate.
Sure.
Than Cena.
Yeah.
Cena's desperate for one thing, and that's that title for a 17th time. He's got a wildly successful acting career.
Yeah.
He's probably got all the money he could ever wish for. He probably has room in his house like Cody's locker room on SmackDown with the wall of wine and the giant plate of sushi and shrimp.
What an inspiring locker room that was.
That was a lot of wine.
Yeah.
That was a lot of wine on that wall.
It was. Yeah.
So, anyways, Drew being the corporate champion made a lot of sense. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's a situation where beating Priest at WrestleMania is what kickstarts him finding his winning ways.
Because he always gets too wrapped up.
He's
too emotional.
Focused.
Yeah.
Obsessed on one thing.
Yeah.
Rather than considering the larger picture.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, this, once you got, so Drew ends up getting rolled up by Priest.
And then Paul eliminates Priest, and then Punk ends up eliminating Logan Paul. So
yeah, so Priest gets hit with a Claymore because Drew's pissed off. Logan goes up top to the top of a pod, hits a frog splash to eliminate Priest. And then Punk eliminates Logan after a GTS. And then we get Cena, Punk, and Rollins. And there's so much talking between specifically Cena and Punk. Rollins, of course, is obsessed with Punk to the point where he stops the love fest between these two guys and lays into Punk. Cena backs him off, and Rollins is like, no, this is mine. He's mine. And so there's a lot more of that. So Cena eventually grabs Seth for an AA. Seth fights out of that, but gets right into a GTS. Right into an AA after that. So it took two huge finishing moves from two big names to put down Seth Rollins. Punk got the elimination there. So that leaves us with Punk and Cena. They both stare at the Mania sign. Earlier on, Cena had offered up a handshake to Punk, who bypassed the handshake, went straight to a hug. It was a great moment. And again, if we get corporate Cena versus Punk at any situation, when's Money in the Bank? That could be the Money in the Bank match right there. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. 14 years. Was it 2011 or 2010? Money in the Bank. The Cena Punk Money in the Bank. 2011, yeah, 14 years later. So we get Punk Cena from there. Cena hits an AA out of nowhere. Punk kicks out of that. Punk boots Cena away. Seth, who had already been eliminated but hadn't left the cage, hits a stomp on Punk, who is draped over outside the ring, basically. Cena sees his opportunity, pulls Punk in. STFU, Punk fades, Cena wins. Cena tells Punk, I'm sorry, but he had to do what he had to do.
Yep. So Cody's music hits as they lift up the chamber. He comes to the ring. He and Cena chat a bit. They shake hands. Rock music hits. Travis Scott makes his entrance first, followed by The Rock. They come to the ring. So Rock says, Cody, the moment has arrived. I'll open my arms. You will come to me, embrace me as your brother, and I'll embrace you as my champion.
It's so over the top.
It really is.
It's so over the top.
I want it all, Cody.
All right, if you're going to do Rock, I'm going to do Cody.
That's fine. Your mind, your soul. God have mercy. I need your soul. If the answer is yes, the American Nightmare will live forever. Look me in the eyes. If your answer is no, then tonight the dream dies. Again.
And then Cody, Rock stretches his arms out. He wants that big hug. Cody looks around. Cena's behind him. Travis Scott's behind him. He says, I want it all, Rock. My soul no longer belongs to me. You know why? I gave my soul to this ring and these people a long time ago. Hey, Rock, go fuck yourself. In his best Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. And Cena's back there clapping. He's celebrating.
Oh,
Rock's
yeah.
pissed.
Yeah.
So Cena pulls Cody in. So they hug. Cena and Cody hug. And then they have that exchange between Cena and The Rock. Cena hits Cody with a low blow. So the Rolex, I guess, that Cody gave The Rock, Cena gets that, starts punching Cody with it.
Yeah.
Grabs the mic, bashes Cody in the head with that, and then gets the title. I've seen a lot of title shots in my life. I've never heard the thunk from title hitting skull before.
Yeah.
And we heard it twice tonight.
Yeah.
And Cody's busted open at this point. He's bleeding all over the place. So then The Rock starts hitting Cody with the weight belt, the custom weight belt. Gets some of Cody's blood on it, hits him some more. And then Cena throws the belt on Cody. They leave. And then Cena, Rock, Travis Scott walk up the ramp. They turn around, get this great shot of them. And then Michael Cole gets in the ring to check on Cody. And Michael Cole, what did he say? He said, someone's got to stop this shit or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. He cursed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this was really, really good stuff. So yeah, remains to be seen what direction they take with this, how long Cena's going to be bad guy Cena, but this road to WrestleMania is now officially not boring anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a count out coming up on Monday.
Jesus.
That might be a little
Yeah, man. You might have to film a new one on Monday morning.
Yeah, I might have to. Or
tomorrow. I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Anyways, there was also a SmackDown last night. We'll talk about that really quick because we have a new number one contender for the United States title. Yeah, Larson, your hands
I
up.
thought LA Knight was already number one contender.
Didn't he win a match?
Yeah, that I thought made him number one contender, but it was like Nick Aldis shows up. It's like LA Knight thinks he's number one contender, but it's time to have an official number one contender. Guess who number one contender is? The person you already thought they were LA Knight. Yeah,
It's LA Knight. Yeah, he won a triple threat match after there were qualifiers to get into this. It was all a one night tournament, which is kind of cool and kind of different.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of wrestling on the show on SmackDown. We got 3 whole hours to fill. So yeah, it was what? LA Knight versus.
I got it right here. Is Melo versus Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu versus Andrade, LA Knight versus Santos Escobar, Melo, Fatu, Knight. They all advance. They face in the final. LA Knight pins Melo. After
Really
Jacob
fun
Fatu.
match.
It was. Yeah,
Super
Jacob
fun
Fatu
match.
hits Melo with his moonsault. LA Knight pulls Jacob out of the ring. He covers Melo to get the win.
Yeah. We had segments where Miz, Drew, and CM Punk all advised Cody. I love how Punk always brings just like common sense. He's like, what more do you need? Like, you have everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then he closed the show with an interview with Michael Cole. And then The Rock gives Cody this horribly tacky American Nightmare themed truck.
It looks like they put the decals with the logos on literally before they rolled that truck out there, because you could see them look like they're starting to peel off.
Yeah, and right after they rolled it off, they took it right back off and sent
absolutely.
it back
That's
to
what
the rental agency.
Took it back to the lot or the rental agency. Yeah.
It's like, does he not know Cody makes a shit ton of money? If he wanted that tacky ass truck, he could probably just buy it easily.
I wouldn't be shocked if Cody actually has maybe not that tacky ass truck, but a tacky ass truck.
Wouldn't
Already.
shock me. Wouldn't shock me. That's where Rock debuted also in a Matt Chat question, which they filmed on like a tarmac or something.
Yeah, he's gonna get in the private jet to fly to Toronto. Yeah.
And it was very like the audio was so trash. Like, yeah, it was
They
hilarious.
got the Learjet engines there
They get
blasting.
yeah, like 50 feet from him. And like, I feel because he probably gave this video to some poor schmuck who had to like, transcode it or whatever. And he's like, what am I supposed to do with this audio? I can barely hear anything. Cody Rhodes, Mama Rhodes, got a new belt here. That's where he debuted his Cody Soul belt.
Yeah.
We had Tiffany and Trish open the show with a promo, which led to Chelsea versus Tiffany because Chelsea came out to a big ovation. Ended in a DQ because Nia Jax and Candice LeRae interfered. Tiffany and Trish stood tall, which was an interesting choice given the outcome of the match. We had a Drew McIntyre promo. There's all sorts of money in the bank. I'm just going to say this. There's all sorts of money in the bank marketing during this episode. We had some tag team chaos, which the crowd is actually starting to pick up on. This is one of those things where they've done it so much that the crowd's like, okay, we might as well get invested.
Well, I
in
mean,
this.
a huge pull apart brawl. I mean, it's easy to get swept up in the action of it all.
I like seeing Pretty Deadly get mixing it up in a big brawl like this. Show us that you're actually wrestlers
Yeah.
who might actually have some gumption. You know what I mean?
And win, yeah, could potentially win a match. We also had a 6-woman tag match that saw Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne Perez take on Bianca, Naomi, and Bayley, and Roxanne got the pin on Bayley in this match.
Want to point this out really quick. Battle Frankie 28, which is a cool name in our YouTube chat, says, I sometimes feel like Chelsea and Tiffy should be in each other's positions. I feel the same way too. I feel like Chelsea would have made a killer WWE champion and Tiffany would have been a killer U.S. champion. I feel like they should have traded those spots as well. But they're trying to make something huge out of... But it's like, make something huge out of Chelsea.
I know.
I know? No,
I
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah,
Super chat here from Caden says, do you guys sense a hint of hesitation with Cena regarding the heel turn? Cena mic drop at the press conference. I'll have to watch that. But in the moment... No, he performed. He chewed the shit out of that scenery. This dude has wanted to do this for 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, 15 years.
15 years.
He says also, I'm sorry, Caden also says, P.S. Your star ratings are better than those other guys.
Oh, thank you.
You'll be able to catch those star ratings fresh and
tomorrow.
hot tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Absolutely. And I think that's it. Man, what a night.
You got that right.
Yeah. This was a lot of fun. And it's always better watching wrestling with the friendos. And Elimination Chamber was a really fun show. That always makes it a lot easier, too, when it's a really fun show. So the next time we'll have an episode is going to be this coming Monday. As yet undecided episode of Count Out.
How about this? 10 matches heel Cena should have in 2025.
Oh, man. That seems like a show. I don't know how long we can talk about that. We can squeeze a whole 45 minutes.
I feel like we got to milk heel Cena for a while, man.
Well, let's think about what our options are going to be, okay? All right. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.